Join me, of course, is Michael slash Fatas.
Hey,
And we are back.
we're back, baby.
Yep.
Hey,
Okay, audio seems to be good. And I did a little bit of grinding, at least with Tim. So
Okay.
he now has speed down. Which, that will be helpful in just about every form. And so we need to do the trapezoidahedron. Which, I forget where it... Well, you have the call function. Northeast of Courtley. So we just kind of teleport to Courtley.
The salt flats of the Slayheim region.
Slayheim.
So this is a one-time dungeon. Once we enter, we have to stay in until we are done, and we can never go back.
Yep. The trapezoidahedron. Oh, we got a call.
Snake? Snake!
Your reaction pattern contains some strange noise. Apparently you came in contact with the trapezoidahedron. The trapezoidahedron is linked to the live reflectors and servers as a prison. Also, thank you. It must hold the powerful Kuiper belt, so it is built to be incredibly strong. So you only get one chance to get to the Kuiper belt.
One shot, one opportunity.
The Kuiper belt is a parallel universe. It is like a giant living entity. By annihilating the Kuiper belt, you can escape the grip of the force field. Failure is not an option. You must prepare carefully for this mission. That is all. AKA, he's... And we just kind of go in anyway.
I mean, yeah.
So the trapezoidahedron is one of those, like, you complete something and you move on.
Mm-hmm. And there are two possible enemies in here, which if we want to 100% our bestiary, we're going to need to get both.
Yep.
And one of the two does have mass insta-death.
Ah. Yep. Also, there are no... this is a OSHA non-compliant dungeon.
I mean, that's kind of been the theme of this game, is giving OSHA inspectors nightmares.
And yes, I'm going to be wandering around a little bit.
Okay. So I do have a guide if you choose, or we can just wander and find everything that way. There are no treasure chests to miss. There's nothing missable in here.
Yeah. In this case, I'm just kind of wandering a little bit to mostly try and get enemies to attack.
Ah.
And we have Asmodeus.
Okay, that's our instant death boy.
That's the boy that Tim needs to go
He needs to death proof us.
Thanatos X. And we, I'm guessing no spells to grab for our esteemed
that's a good
Crimson
point
Noble.
that I should have definitely looked into. Asmodeus does not. And the other one we haven't met yet also does not.
So, nothing really here.
Nope. get through this place.
And does Asmodeus drop anything worth it, or nah?
Actually, the pickpocket might not be a terrible answer. It does pickpocket full revives.
Hmm.
And it naturally drops mega berries.
Ew. Oh god, that hurt.
The other option that we have is definitely much less worth it. I won't say not worth it, but much less worth it. Its pickpocket is revive fruits, and its basic drops are antidotes.
Well, Cannon's up to Phalanx, so let's see if she can pop it.
Come on, Spark! Nope, that's not Spark. We need to make her LB4 useful.
Limit break 4. Oh boy. Oop.
You can tell how far back I am by when I react to things.
Yeah. Oh, and we got another fight. Fight.
Is it the other bad guys?
It's the other bad guys, the Landon enemy.
Yep. Which, I'm not sure the developers have seen an enemies before.
I mean, it's kind of close, but
They don't generally look like snowmen turrets.
well, we've seen all the enemies.
Yep, we've seen every enemy of this place.
Also, the background is very trippy.
I mean, I've definitely seen trippier, but yeah. I mean, it's no fetus hell. And you know what game I'm referring to with that one.
God, all I can think of is freaking Flesh Tower from 5 now.
No, Gygus, or no, not Gygus. Yeah, Gygus in Earthbound.
Yeah, that's what I was. It's like when you said like Fetus Town. It's like, yeah, no, that sounds like Earthbound.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like my mind goes like, what? Like a lot of other games also had flesh stages, and Final Fantasy
is honestly a little concerned. Let's be honest.
Well, it's working off the entire idea of body horror, which to me is ugh. I'm not a big fan of body horror stuff.
So is it more horrifying when it's like a building made of flesh, or like literally getting swallowed by something?
It's a mix of something that like you're in a living entity, but at the same time, like you're so small that even its parasites are like beasts to you.
So, like for example, going back to something I just did today, Cerberus in World of Darkness. If you're on Team B for Belly,
Yeah.
you get shrunk down and eaten by Cerberus, and you have to fight your way out of its stomach.
Kind of. Weirdly enough, I stumbled upon this YouTube video the other day about a like kind of a creepypasta thing. Also, I'm noticing some weird slowdowns happening, at least on my end. Give me a moment.
It doesn't seem to be coming through to my end for some reason.
Oh,
never mind.
Yeah.
It's funny, as soon as I say that, I see us drop to like half the FPS.
Yeah, it's weird because it's saying it's not dropped frames, it's just the program I'm using is just bogged down, and I don't know why.
Well,
Wings
are you
of death.
downloading things of a certain nature in the background again?
No.
So I'm guessing that's looks like probably the instant death move.
Yeah, that looks to be the instant death mode. Lucky word. Because now cannon should be... Yep, cannon's up and running.
Killing range. Yep, and all the way to Con Green. Nice. Oh no, not quite.
That was Ashley.
No, I was preemptively congratulating Cannon on hitting Con Green off the counterattack, only to realize it stopped 3 points short.
Alright.
Alright, come on, Cannon. I need you to spark.
Weird question, and I'm just gonna see if this is possible. Is there anything that restores health to Asmodeus?
Restores health to Asmodeus?
Is there any...
as far as like absorbs?
Yes.
Absorb darkness.
Well, I will try that for next time.
So you're gonna try and get the engine running and just farm Asmodeus for a minute?
Yeah. Okay, so I've gone that way.
Because we're getting awfully close.
Yeah. Okay.
At this point, I hope you don't actually need the guide because I have no idea how far in you are. I've not been tracking every single movement, and as such, I'm not sure I'd be able to help.
Yeah. Okay. You surprised them.
Excellent.
And it's landing enemies.
Yeah, which don't have enough HP to be worth even trying. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh wow. Not expecting that. The anemones are resistant to water.
That actually makes sense.
I figured it's like because the title was Land Anemone.
You thought they swapped out their water for water affinity for earth affinity?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a why not both. I didn't look.
Yeah.
Oh. Or they could be just really cheap bitches.
Oh, they're that
Resistant all.
type. Tim, just smack it. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't precisely matter because if there's two of them, then they're gonna die before it even gets to Tim's turn. And if there's three of them, The third one's gonna survive until the next turn, anyways. So
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that.
I'm not trying to hide it. Okay. Okay, I think I can garner a good place where we can start, because I think we're going in loops now.
Okay.
So, it should describe an area that's red and has a few like 3 platforms.
3 platforms? Okay.
Yeah.
Dang it. See, the problem is it doesn't actually talk about what color the map is.
Ah.
And it describes like 8 different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know which one you're in.
Okay.
But the problem is now I don't know how far into it you are.
Okay. So, I've got all the bridges done in the room, technically.
Okay. So, can you get back to the beginning of this room and see if this might be the one I think it is based on the description?
Okay. So, I'm standing on probably what would have been one of the starter platforms, yes.
Okay, so it says from the starter platform, go 1 north.
Okay.
And then 1 east.
East brings us probably to a teleporter.
And then 1 north again.
Okay. So...
Wait, I just looked and your compass is off.
Okay, you're right.
So this can't be that room because that doesn't match.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try the one before that. It says walk north as far as you can and take the western telepad.
Okay.
Because you're in the second room, if I recall correctly.
And it's far north. And western.
Yeah, as far north and then western telepad.
This is the western telepad. Okay. It is not that room either. Okay.
Well, we have not gotten to a save point, so we're not in room 4 yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But the descriptions for 3 don't work either. So, okay, so, no, that makes no sense either.
Okay, so I found probably one of the starter rooms. Let's see here. It's basically a long path with... Okay.
Okay, so this is probably the one that you go north as far as you can and then the western telepad.
Okay. Alright. From here, where to?
Okay, from here you go 1 space north.
Okay.
Followed by 1 space east.
Okay.
Followed by 1 space north again. A walkway will appear that we're going to ignore.
Okay.
From here, we are going to go 1 north, but do not take the telepad.
Okay.
We are from there going to go southwest.
Alright.
And then from there, we're going to go north and warp out.
Alright. North. Basically say go as far north and then go to the warp there.
Yeah, north, east, out.
Okay, we found purple, which is the save point.
Yep. So yeah, now we're in room 4.
God, I wish they used colors, because then it would have been easier.
And of course, not that this is a change of our pattern, but we're going to save in a new slot.
Yep. And then continue on north.
Yep. And continue out to the next room, which is room 5.
Okay, from here, where to?
So go 1 north, a northern path will open up, and you'll ignore it.
Okay.
You're going to go northeast. It says go northeast 2 platforms, but then the map actually shows northeast once, east once. So I'm confused.
Basically, it's kind of got this weird thing, so...
Okay.
Basically...
And then ignore the next path that opens up and go northwest to the exit.
Alright. Okay.
To the exit, yes.
And then follow north on this one.
Follow north to make 2 paths open and go east.
East. Follow path and drop down.
Walk east to find a new path and a string of gems pointing to a pad below. Jump down to it. That is such a Mario. That is such a Mario clue right there.
Okay. Go east. Go east.
West.
West. Sorry.
That's correct. West to make a path appear and follow it to the teleport pad.
Then go north.
Walk north to make 3 appear. Take the northernmost.
So take the northern the north path.
Yeah. It specifically calls it the northernmost, so I was expecting one to be like a northwest or a northeast and then another to be north. But no, it is just literally cardinals.
Yeah. Ashley... Oh, no.
It
Ashley...
only gives me maps on 2 of these.
Ashley must fight alone.
I mean, at least it's not a freaking Asmodeus.
Yeah.
Imagine. Couldn't be me.
Good lord. Admittedly, Wild Arms does occasionally do that. I mean, it is...
And Ashley defeated alone.
Yay, which means you got
Ashley's
everything.
a badass.
Not really. Alright. So, Northern Path.
Alright.
Boss time!
Yep. Kuiper Belt's tip and remarked that it looks like an egg, kinda.
This is the tip of the Kuiper Belt held in the Mana Prison. The pseudo-life form, the encroaching parallel universe, the Kuiper Belt. Am I imagining this? It's not expanding, is it? It's almost as if something is hatching from an egg. Whoa, it's hatching. It's the larval of an encroaching parallel universe. And encroaching parallel universe? Larva. Oh! Oh, unique boss music!
Uh-oh. So it does have one move that is literally bullshit.
Smack the mouth. Smack the mouth!
Oh yeah, definitely slap its mouth. A lot.
Lucky
It's
charge.
one ability that's bullshit and you'll need to watch out for is called Arc and CL.
Oh
for some
god,
reason-
I know that one. No,
It's bad breath, essentially.
yeah, Arc NCL is notorious because that is the ability used by, the alien boys. Oh,
Percentage chance of nightmare, amnesia, downheart disease, ability block.
no.
Hey, look at that. Oh.
Downhearted and muted.
With only Ashley in perfect health.
Okay. Violet Rose for Tim. Cannon. It's gonna be weird because Peppy. I'm gonna do Peppy Acorn for Cannon because we need to get her up and running.
Yeah, we can't get the engine going with the downhearted.
Yeah. Tim being downhearted.
Not as big of a deal. Just like Cannon being silenced sucks for now, but it's not the priority one.
Yeah. No, would you stop that, good sir?
But yeah, Arc and CL is pretty much the only move that we're really worried
Really?
about. Oh, jeez. Could you come over here and slap Cannon around a little bit? See if we can get Cannon to green. Con green would be really fucking useful right about now. Hello?
And Tim is forgetful. I am taking care of that right now. Ability Bind.
Ability Bind is weak damage, but also has a chance of ability block.
Guess who got green?
Okay,
Just
good job, Ashley.
Tim, Violet Rose, Cannon, you're still downhearted.
More like again, but yeah. So once the mouth is down, ability bind goes away.
But Arc and CL becomes priority. Okay, there goes ability bind. Okay. So Ashley has Mad Lucy. He's gonna smack it. With the factor that Tim and Cannon are diseased, we can't necessarily heal them right now.
Which is obviously that's the kind of the bullshit of this fight. Is that it's not big damage, it's just very much a war of attrition.
Yeah. Admittedly, I could probably stick something on Tim that prevents mute. Oh, thank God it's something else. Ow! Okay. Okay, Cannon's at 100, which means that she's cleared to go. Tim, first aid, Cannon, Phalanx, and we just have the body now. I really can't pull Tim off of healing duty yet because...
My apologies, I have lost visuals.
Ew, that's not good.
Yeah, my power was kind of graying out, in and out for a minute there.
Yeah, right now,
I still
Tim...
have, like, everything except for my internet is still up. But my internet's down, so my desktop's down.
Ugh. So, in this case, I'm going to have Ashley hold off a bit, just so Cannon can get a couple more phalanxes in.
Okay. Yeah, because we definitely want to try and get it to spark if possible.
Okay. Everybody's up to Heelys. And Cannon defeated it with the final blow.
Okay. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. And we got a gimbal coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gimbal coin was from popping him in his mouth.
Popping his mouth off. Did we win? Our attack seemed to have had an effect on the pseudo-life form. The encroaching parallel universe. The Kuiper Belt was a section that broke off from the main body, right? What we destroyed was only a small section of it. What we really need to destroy is still out there. Irving. The mission was a failure, just like you warned us. The Kuiper Belt released a part of itself just before the core was sealed. You mean what we thought was just the tail of the lizard? Yes. Anyway, just come back to Valeria's Chateau. The trapezoidahedron will self-destruct any minute. Well, that was a bust. We have eliminated part of it, but the Kuiper Belt is still strong. The sky of Filga is still dark, and the hearts of the people are just as shadowed. Our plan against the Kuiper Belt. Did the trapezoidahedron avail us? Not at all. Have we failed then? I think Arms has lost this time. But even if we were defeated in this battle, we still have the war. Even in this darkness, we're able to see one critical thing. Yes, we've found a way to trap the Kuiper Belt. Treating a world like a spirit and trapping it in a live vessel can be effective. In that case, why don't we try sealing in the trapezoidahedron once more? If we can still trap a critical mass of the Kuiper Belt in the trapezoidahedron, we can do better against it this time. Unfortunately, we used up all the mana built up at the ray points. Since the pillar air appeared, the faint light of the world we've seen has been disappearing. A large amount of mana must have been consumed from Filgaia. It would be hundreds of years before so much mana could accumulate at the ray point again. And by that time, the world will already have been eaten away. Have we no more ideas to use? There must be something. There just has to be something. If we don't try something, everything in living in Filgaia will be... Sometimes it's better to go slowly than quickly. One more error will be fatal. But at the moment, I'm more worried about your health. All must be very wary by now. I cannot ignore that. Today, I'd like you to rest. Everything's okay, right? We can still save Filgaia, can't we? There's always another way. You just have to find it. There's always a last resort to be taken. I'm the commander. You all must be rest up for our next mission. What are you thinking there, Irvin? What's with those dark thoughts? Is it possible to destroy a world by sealing it in a living vessel? I'm certain that is the only way to defeat the Kuiper Belt. But the ray points mana is so depleted, using any more might drain the very sun of life. Using the mana prism, the trapezoidahedron would kill our life-giving planet. That hand is played out. Also, thanks Marvel for following us. In which case, how can we lure the Kuiper Belt into a body without the trapezoidahedron? That's it. We must prepare a vessel other than the trapezoidahedron. We must.
Must we?
We
Is that
must. We must use Ashley Winchester. He will be our drastic measures. Irving? An ancestor of Anastasia was the trapped Lord Blazer. The Blaze of Disaster. Such a giant being was controlled by housing it in a person. Therefore, the Kuiper Belt should be housed in a human vessel, too. But a human vessel already contains one spirit. And two beings sharing one vessel, like Ashley, is tantamount to a miracle.
Adding a third in would be suicide.
Yeah. We need a miracle. The Valeria blood that runs in my veins is that of the hero who drove back the Lord Blazer. I will not wait for a miracle. Miracles are worth most when you bring them about yourself. Elder brother, did you call?
Really quick.
Yep.
Marvel 1717, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, I mentioned that a little bit earlier.
Oh, I must have missed it. Sorry.
Altacia! It is so late at night. Oh god, Irving, no, bad. No.
Don't suggest what I think you're suggesting.
That is so Altacia. We need a capacity to match that of the trapezoidahedron. We need a vessel large enough to trap the encroaching parallel universe. The demon summoning. Demon summoning? Is that part of the black magic which you use to research? Wasn't that black magic forbidden for humans to use? Elder brother, you don't mean... I need something wide and deep enough to hold a world. The only choice is a human vessel. Irving, no! No, Irving! Please.
We can talk about this. We don't need to jump to that grounds.
Please understand, Altacia. We must entrust everything to the Valeria blood, for we are descendants of the hero. Little sister, I need you not as the sword mages, but as the Madonna of Destruction. What? Irving, no! Elder brother! Oni-chan! Oh!
Oni-chan!
I need you. You and the family blood flowing through you. Will I be able to fight with you, elder brother? May I be by your side always? Altacia, no! From now on, always together. I want you to bear my sins with me, Altacia. Irving! Ew! I have never felt closer to my brother than tonight. Oh! And the gang doesn't know any better. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are rested up for your next mission. I think I found a solution. Monsters are appearing in the land east of Halmetz across the inlet. Want arms to go there immediately and investigate the cause. Wait a sec. Why do that now? What will we do about the Kuiper Belt? Arms must respond to everything, large or small. That's true, but... I'm depending on you. Everyone, get moving. Be careful, everyone. Irving, no! Soon, I will solve everything. Soon, we will save the world. Irving, no! Well, time to stock up on the stuff that we kind of,
Time to start stocking up on stuff.
yeah. I think he's...
Time to go back to the black market.
Probably to the black market.
By the way, I know that you did some stuff off stream. Did any of that involve getting more duplicators?
No.
Yeah.
Sad to say, I kind of got a little preoccupied with other things. I tried my best. I got Tim's ability, but nothing much. Okay, here we go.
3 best boys that we want to rescue, and we can't do it until we can get behind the 3 doors in the sacrificial altar.
Yeah. I'm just restocking up on the items we used in that thing. So, after the trapezoidahedron, we have to go to helmets, but do we have any things to do in the meantime?
Not without duplicators, which is really unfortunate because we really want to do them before we go to the next place.
The thing after helmets?
So the next place that we're supposed to go... Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's after helmets. Never mind, yeah. We go to helmets first.
Helmets first.
To investigate a small thing.
And relocate the fiery wreckage. Oh, this.
Yep.
Oh, this. Welcome to possibly the most biggest bit of plot dumpage that you will encounter. Also, there's a secret boss here that we could technically fight right now if we wanted to.
Is there?
Yes. Are we going to? No, I'm not.
It's not listed here, so I'm guessing we shouldn't.
Yeah. Basically, the hidden boss is in that smaller door down there, I believe. Alright, here we go. Ah, the obelisk. Equip. That is Ashley's latest weapon, and he's going from attack missing to 444. Okay, apparently that missing door is just the way out.
Also, we apparently missed something.
Oh?
Because before we got to the obelisk gun, we're supposed to first get a certain jacket.
Oh. Huh. Oops, I think I might have done an oopsie.
Well, there's got to be a way back out of that.
Kind of key. Nope. Okay, earthquake? Earthquake. Alright.
So, oh, and that brought you to that lower door.
Yeah, I thought it was the lower door.
Okay, so let's see. Use earthquake to blow up dirt clogged doors, then mistcloak to the eastern one.
Okay. There's a door to the west here.
That is the western one.
Okay. Oh, there's a thing that we have to claw shot or hook shot. Okay. Oh, no, that's the that's the secret boss right there. That sword?
That sword is the secret boss?
That sword's the
So it
secret
says
boss.
there's a red jacket just inside the second room.
I'm not doing him yet.
Well, I'm not saying do the boss. I'm saying go to the second room.
Well, considering that that thing's off by itself. I'm gonna go to the western one real quick.
Oh wait, it says, okay, let me use Earthquake to blow up the dirt clogged doors, then Mistcloak to the eastern one. Turn on the power console here. There's a red jacket just inside the second room, then double back to outside.
They got their directions wrong. It's the western one.
Oh, well then they're derpy.
Yeah. Because, like, I know that secret boss. We are not doing him yet.
Okay. Ignore the lowest door, walk around to the orange wing tip, gigantic door nearby, jump to the chest to get obelisk, exit, and re-enter from the second level again. Okay, so go back in where we got the obelisk gun.
Oh, hey. Corrupted data is displayed on the monitor. In the broken and scrambled data is detailed information on Odessa's funding sources. Information on the nobility financially supporting Odessa is present in fragments. Nobility? Alright. So...
So it said go back out, go back to where we got the obelisk gun, but don't drop down this time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, admittedly, I think we could take the secret boss pretty okay, but yeah.
I wonder if this guy just, if they didn't even try it, or if they never mess with it, or
Yeah.
maybe there's something special that locks it.
Okay, so 3 doors.
Yes, there are 3 doors. Go into the side rooms to turn on consoles.
Okay. Corrupted data displayed on the monitor. Broken and scrambled data is detailed information concerns a war power. Okay. So basically a status report of... Oh, hey, enemies. I don't think there's anything... I think there's only, like, 1 enemy here, really?
2.
Saber-tooth? Tim, what? Okay, the Saber-tooth are weak. Pokey pokey, doom doom doom.
Yep, and neither of the enemies that are in here gives us anything of interest.
For anybody.
Yep.
Here's the console panel. Corrupted data displayed on the monitor. In the broken and scrambled data is detailed information on the Heimdall Gazo, which, by the way, we're currently in the wreckage of.
Oh.
That's why it's these weird little blocky, yellow bits.
Side consoles first.
In the broken and scrambled data is detailed information on the demon summoning. There's information about Randolph the Magic Key and the conjuring from that man. In the broken and scrambled data is detailed information on the demon summoning. The demon summoning experiment used the newly formed special unit as guinea pigs?
Well, we knew that.
We, the player, knew that, but they are just finding this out. Information was leaked to Odessa regarding the date and time of the ceremony of the unit. Now for the main console. This looks like the wreckage from the Heimdall Gazo. It said you can access Odessa's main data bank from here. What do you want to do, Ashley? Odessa's data bank. Vinsfeld must have meant the Kuiper Belt when he spoke of an encroaching menace. We might be able to get some information. It could be a waste of time, but it's worth a try. He spoke as if he knew something. If he knew something we didn't, it's not unlikely. Anyway, let's look. If nothing comes up, no big deal. Let's split up and research this. Everybody goes to various consoles. Even if we research data on Odessa now, it doesn't look like anything good will result. Hey! What kind of joke is this?
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Odessa's membership, power, activity strategies. No, the section after that. Funding sources. The organization lacked operational funds. So these are their financial backers. Impossible! Why would that name be listed here? This has to be, this must be wrong. It has to be. Irving Vold Valeria. Why is his name here? Oh my, holy, oh geez, we're done for. Calm yourself down. What is going on? We just found out something horrible over here. This is as usual. It's pandemonium here. Irving and Altacia are gone. They're not in the chateau. They left a note, so we know where they went. Understood. We'll hurry back right now. While you're getting this, I will be preparing the final plan against the Kuiper Belt. To beat the Kuiper Belt, which exists only as a concept now, we must cause it to materialize. The trapezoidahedron is useless now. I must take actions I know will be regrettable. These will be my drastic measures. Whatever people may say, I will sacrifice it all for Filgaia. It's true, my actions in this cause have not been beyond reproach. I do not ask for forgiveness. I will pay whatever the price is required. I will now give you your final mission. You will travel to the heart of Filgaia. The heart of Filgaia is the center of the world and the root of this planet's life. If you still believe in me, please grant me this wish. Then, pray for the future of Filgaia. Irving Vold Valeria. What will we do from now on? There is no one to command us, but we already know what we're fighting for. We have a purpose that can guide us. No one else will lead us. It is time to lead ourselves. That talk is all fine, but I just want to protect what's mine. I will not let anyone ruin the world I live in, not without a fight. This last battle looks like it'll be our last. Everyone needs to decide for themselves. We will disperse for now. We will meet here again at this time tomorrow. Those with the will to fight can come. So, yeah. Irving's behind it all.
So really quick, do you want me to spoil what we would be potentially getting with the duplicators so we can determine if it's worth doing it on stream?
I think we've did a little bit of it, but like we did a little bit of spoileries because we had to figure out which one was the best one when we had one duplicator.
Maybe. Okay, so let me say then, because if we already spoiled it before, so the three things that we should be doing next, according to this guide, is getting Raftina, Zephyr, and Justine.
Okay, we're primed for that technically already.
Well, we're primed for that in that we are at the good point in the story,
Yeah.
but we need duplicators.
Why
I
do
think.
we have the statues?
Oh, we do. We have the God Lion and Drago.
Yeah, we got that from the sacrificial pillar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Never
that's
mind. Then we don't have to worry about the duplicators. Okay.
Yeah.
I have where we need to go and who we need to talk to.
Yeah. Anyway, cutscene time. Come on, listen. All you have to do is listen. I might be the only one without superior officers, but in return, I've been blessed with the best allies. It must be hard for you. You're stuck listening to me babble. When he's with you, Billy seems so happy. Do you think so? Yes, I can tell because we're always together. I owe you a lot to you. This one was saved from the brink of death because of you and the villagers. I can tell because we're always together. Billy is always with Mister. I can tell. You don't have to say a word. I've got something valuable. I've been keeping it for this one. I survive all my battles because of it. It doesn't matter where I am. I'm always with this one. We're always together. There's something I wanted to ask you. That day, Mister was arrested. I was told it was because he was a hero. Is a hero something bad? I wonder. One thing I do know, I'm not a hero. I wasn't able to become a hero. It caused all kinds of trouble. That's my own fault. Rathiu is shaking with fear. How long are these conditions going to last? It'll be over soon. I'll make sure it'll be over. It's the only thing I can do now, thanks to this guy. And that spawned a bunch of yaoi fanships between Billy and Brad. Don't ask me
Big
why.
shock there.
You flew out of here. Then you just came back without any warning. Oh, hello, Terry. What? Terry? You always are so indecisive. I didn't come back here to see you. It's no big deal. Well, that's true, but... What? I've decided to take the kettle test. Wow, really? That really difficult elite class? Well, sort of. You've got a rotten personality, but you sure know how to study. How about our taking the test together? Kettle, this is the classroom Sis sat in. That's it. I've got it. As a way to get close to Sis, your dream girl, you need to take the test. If you insist, I'll look at your late homework. I'm so in awe of you, Sis. But I am Lilka Elianak, not your Sis. I think there was some horrible mistranslation there, because it's supposed to be, I am not my sister. I have something I want to do, and in order to do that, maybe I'll try taking the test too. Yeah, let's. I'm sure that'd be the best. Well, now, you going already? It's too early. I thought we'd go check the test area together now. Oh, what is it? I've always wondered why you always seem to pick fights with me. It's not that you like me or anything, is it? Who would like Lilka? That's true, too. Remember, someday, I'll be a mighty fine woman. I'll be sure to give you the honor of being dumped by me then. You're making fun of me. Lilka. Hey, I'm stuck with the cleaning you're supposed to be doing. Thanks. It's all over. When you come back here, I'll help with your cleaning. Where? The Astronomical Observatory. That's a rough one. Better take back what I just said. You're the one who volunteered. I'm holding you to it. I'm gonna get you to help me clean the Astronomical Observatory. Oh. Now over to Tim. Boy, I haven't seen the sky in a long time. Yeah. It's different from having something fun disappear. I never imagined having something so familiar disappear would make me feel so lonely. Yeah. Can you say anything more than yeah, Colette? I've made up my mind. I'm going to bring the sky back to Filgaia. I'm going to show you the sun once again. I promise you. Then let's shake on it. Give me your left hand. Let's meet here again. Colette! When someone you want nearby leaves, it makes you lonely. Even if the sky disappears, I still have my sunshine. Here's a special secret sun ball. Give me your left hand and promise me again. And cannon! Also, the sky is even worse now.
Oh wow, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's
That
going
is
to...
intense.
That is basically the point of, like, you're now essentially right before the final, the ultimate dungeon. So, blood can be inherited, but can heroism be inherited as well? Blood is a red bond that ties you to the past. Invisible bonds become chains which bind one over and over again. It's a person's karma, fate, and yet to be known future. Gasping at the suffering, the wailing seeks the dark, yet rest is full of traps. But if today is here for tomorrow, facilitating in the blood is karma's reward of the hero. Or Irving boldly becomes a needle which dives under, heading for the heart. And because we got Marvel, we get the weird shenanigans with Tony. Originally, Filgaia was... Yep. Destined to be the ruler of the top of the ecosystem, yet they came charging in one by one without permission, then later gave no reason. That's criminal. Yep. Now is the time for a true ruler, a crimson noble. Hey, what's at the top of the ecosystem? You don't know? That's like the problem with the uneducated? It means he's all alone, right? Exactly. True rulers, Crimson Nobles know solitude immediately. That must be very lonely. Well, what are you talking about? Oh, people like to have friends around. Off in the distance, in my humble opinion. I'm used to things like that. Think about it. I'm the only Crimson Noble left. No one's left who can share those hours with me. Then I could be your friend. Well, if a Crimson Noble bites and sucks my blood, can I share those hours with you? If that's the case, then go for it. I'll be your, first friend. You're a hopeless idiot. Think about it. Your resignation from humanity means you could lose a lot. Even so, if I did this, I'd be able to be with you forever, right? Oh, stop it. Stop it. No interest in children like you. When you hit those pudgy middle years, I might just consider it. Is Maravel a chubby chaser? Is she into the dad bods?
I mean, if she is, okay.
I mean, really? Really and truly? Alright, tomorrow I'll become middle-aged. Tony.
Oof.
Tony, no!
That's not how it works, Tony.
You aren't dull, that's for sure. Maybe if I were with you, I might be so lonely after all. Off in the distance, in my humble opinion, shh up, Scott. Did something happen? Sorry, I guess I should say something. It's all right. You don't have to force yourself to say anything. But if Ashley doesn't talk, I have a feeling I'll end up babbling. Go ahead. Yeah, but I don't think I'll be able to express my feelings very well. If I put into words, I might end up hurting Ashley again. Marina. In my heart, I want to say something different. But when I put it into words, I always say something very different. I hate how feelings turn into different words when they leave the body. I've always wished there were more direct ways to express my feelings. But if I do this, see, you can sense my feelings, right? Okay, camera. Can you pan down a bit? I'm so glad I have a body. Oh God! Sorry for not doing those ones. Those are automatic. So it's implied Ashley got a kiss, but I, being a bit older, got a bit more. I don't think that's a little bit more than a kiss.
Are you trying to imply something?
I mean, it's an interpretation. Weren't you the one who wanted to fight together? So why are you keeping quiet and fighting alone, Irving? And I wanted to get here first, too. Not this time, I guess. Wilco! Everyone is thinking the same thing. we all want to hear from Irving before we decide. You weren't thinking of going alone, were you? They're all crazy. Everyone. This isn't all of us. Everyone? Everyone, he came back! Do you know what it's like outside? The encroachment has gone much farther since yesterday. It's much dangerous now. So now there's danger wherever we go. Well, let's go, Ashley. You've lost, Ashley. Everyone. Let's go, then. We'll finish everything once and for all. Alright. So, at this point, we are open to pretty much everything. Sorry. So, let's do...
So I feel like we should probably go to Baskar first.
Okay, Baskar.
Although I just realized we're at the chateau right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are at the chateau.
Okay, never mind. Go back in.
Also, we now have the... just to show it off, the sky is the weird red, bluish, purple shenanigans. And we now have the... It's time to do things overworld music. So, yes. Basically...
Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. I think that I just did that very badly, and I apologize to anyone whose ears were assaulted.
Okay, so where to in the chateau?
We want to go up to the second floor.
Alright.
And we want to talk to Marina. It doesn't specify who as, so if it doesn't work as Ashley, try Tim, I guess.
It's probably gonna be Ashley, to be honest. So, Marina's probably working in the kitchen? Oh, hey! Scott and Tim are here. In my humble opinion, Sir Valerius...
Oh, God.
I was trying to make that joke earlier, and only just now did you react.
I missed it, I'm sorry.
Sir Valerius' acts are sure to go down in history. Cause,
Yeah, a little bit.
a bit of infamy there.
I mean, you know, lots of people go down in history.
The big kahuna here was the terrorist ringleader, they say. Why would he do that anyway? Okay, Tim, you go have fun once you turn into a Crimson Noble. Also, I just realized each of these rooms is meant to represent a character. And I'm trying to piece together which room is whose. I think the one that had, like, knives on the table is actually supposed to be cannons.
That kind of makes sense. I can see that.
This one seems to have an arm on the table or a gun, so I feel like this would be much more Brad's. I think Tim's was that, like, very homely one. This one maybe Ashley's, whereas the teddy bear one is obviously Loka's. And the Baron...
I mean, you're judging pretty hard. Maybe the teddy bear one's Ashley's. You don't know.
Ah, here we go. Oh, Ashley, welcome back. Stone Drago starts giving off a silent white light. What the? What's this light? Ashley, what's going... Oh. Back when they were kids, they've been childhood friends forever. Marina, this is your universe, right? It's you, yourself, right? Marina? I had wished days like this would last forever. I never doubted that days like this would continue. Ashley and I are here. The plain old everyday world is still here. An ordinary life, daily life is going to continue ordinarily forever. Don't come here. Don't destroy eternity. I'm afraid I've had enough. To wound and be wounded. How can something so scary happen on a regular basis? I just want to be with Ashley. Fighting to protect eternity and for the time when I didn't know Ashley. For nothing to change, for everything to stay as the eternity from before. Is that what Marina hopes for? Do you want to believe that eternity is when nothing changes? Nothing changing? I don't think such a thing exists. Times change and evolve. We are forever encountering moments of continual change. This could cause despair, or it could lead to a different response. It's possible to want to see how the world turns out, to see what the future will bring. That's what I believe. Hope? Yes. The power to wish for tomorrow. The power to wish for a day you have not yet seen. I wonder if I have that power. Of course you do, but you won't find it in eternity. You're right. I understand it now. Ashley taught me. My wanting to be with Ashley is not in eternity. Forever, for sure, and evermore. But from now on, we'll always be together. That's right. Hope is on the other side of this moment. Far away from eternity. My hope is always for the future. Desire leads to strength and reaches me as light. The long extinct desire has been awakened by one who remembers hope. Stop me if you seek the future. When dark clouds block tomorrow, my power will become a westerly wind to pierce and dispel it. I am Zephyr, the guardian lord who guards people's hearts and Vilgaia. Hope's light will become the power to expand the future. Zephyr acquired.
Excellent. All right, so next is Beskar.
Yep, and just so we can show off, Zephyr is the worst one to grind for because he only gives you one ability. But you have to kill 99 guys.
Apocalypse.
Not elemental, attack all.
But you also pretty much have to con green to cast it.
Pretty much. Unless we take the reduce FP by 1, and then it's like, you're still going to be con greening it.
Yeah, I mean, you go from 99 to 98. That's
96, actually. Because 3 points.
Well, you said reduced by 1.
The skill thing, if you it has 3 pips, and it will reduce a spell by 1 pip each.
So if you max it, it'll drop Apocalypse to 96.
Which is still, you're gonna be going to
Which is still essentially Con Green.
Con Green.
Okay, so yeah, now we go to Beskar.
Now to Beskar.
And I'm sure you can already guess who we're talking to and as who.
Yeah. What's happening? Why am I so excited and nervous and blah 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 blah. The stone goddess begins to give off a soft white light. What is it? Is it the medium? No. I don't know either. It doesn't feel bad though. Get this.
Are they trying to tell us this is the canonic ship for the best boy?
Yes, this is the canonic ship. I wonder why. I feel really happy just like this. Me too. Is this really? This is so embarrassing, but is it really? Could it be? When I think about Tim, my chest constricts. It's quite painful. Me too. When I think of Colette, could it be? Could it really be? It can't be, but it makes me so happy.
Aw, young love.
But it scares me a little. I'm beginning to feel like Tim is all I can think about. It worries me to be like that.
Like I said, young love.
But there's another me who's happy that I am like this. It's as if there are 2 of me. Same for me. When I'm with Colette, I feel calm and relieved, while at the same time I'm wildly excited. I think the present, the time I now spend with Colette, is more important time for me. Yes, me too. I like the present time I spend with Tim too. Colette.
So the first one was the future, the second one's the present. So the third one's probably going to be the past.
Yep. And it's probably obviously based off of the people that we need to talk to.
Yep. We get to go back to the Yowie ship. Which, based on those 2 being canonical, that means that the Yowie ship is canonical. All aboard.
I want to protect you from all hardship and pain. It's because you are the most important person to... Translators! Translators! Somebody! Thank you. My desire to protect you is gradually making me stronger. I've learned that thinking of someone other than myself is very powerful. I mean, I've become this strong all because of Colette. To be honest, I don't want to fight, but in order to protect what I have now, I will fight. Tim, I wonder if this is what it means to like someone. It feels so warm. I'll fight to protect you. My heart must be stronger. The desire leads to strength and reaches me as affection. The long extinct desire has been reawakened by the one who hasn't forgotten love. If what you desire is each other's hearts, you best stop me. When hardship confronts you two, my power will become a ceaseless tie. that will have you all rid it all. I am Raftina, guardian lord who guards people's hearts in Filgaia. Love's embrace will become a gentle, enveloping strength. Raftina acquired. Well, time to go to Tabak. And... oh, hey, Tim's now at normal. Oh, hey, Cannon's at best.
Nice.
So, Raftina's is full heal.
Excellent.
It restores all HP, but requires 50 FP, which we're 5 levels away from. So, that is Tim's single target heal,
Mm-hmm.
which makes him superior to Lilka. And to Tabak.
Yep.
And I don't think there's any side dungeons that opened up anymore.
No, there's nothing new for side dungeons.
Yep.
Everything we're doing is preparing for the end of the universe, and the last thing that we really need to do other than go back to the black market and just buy everything in sight is talk to Brad.
Yeah,
or
Billy.
talk to Billy.
No.
No, I mean I was right the first time.
In a way, yes.
We established that previously.
The light, it's expanding. Wow. Dumbfounded silence. The stone lion starts to give off a silent white light. What could that light be? The light be Billy? A hero should be a symbol of how to control one's power. I'm beginning to understand your true feelings. No. Strictly speaking, you just might reach a different conclusion. A different conclusion? Yes. We don't have a need for heroes anymore. That's what I believe now. Are you saying heroes are unnecessary? That's not really what I meant. A hero isn't bestowed upon you, nor can they be relied on, nor do they have shape. But a hero exists in the hearts of anyone who tries to accomplish something. That's essentially what you mean when you said a hero should be a symbol. If that's what you think, it must be right. For you to say that, you, the one who knows me best, means a hero isn't just a convenient, powerful being that always saves people from serious danger. A hero's symbolic role is to show everyone that they possess within themselves similar powers. Another way of putting it is courage. And your current team members taught you this? Yes, they made it clear to me. They've continued to fight of their own will and strength rather than rely on the hero of Slayheim. They may not realize this, but they have become heroes themselves. And when this is repeated by others, then heroes really will no longer be necessary. I'm glad I left things in your hands. You're my hero. A hero embodies the will to show courage. They personify bravery. Shake off doubts and step forward. Follow the road indicated with the spiritual strength to never lose. Desire leads to strength and reaches me as guidance. The long extinct desire has been reawakened by the one who hasn't forgotten courage. If what you desire is strength of heart, you best stop me. When confusion clouds your path, my power becomes the sword to crush the universe and solve the problem. I am Justine, the Guardian Lord who guards people's hearts in Filgaia. The sword of courage will make the heart full of strength. Justine, acquired.
Excellent.
That's probably the other half of reason why there's a bit of yaoi shipping with Brad and Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And as for Timbo, we get Bold Lance, which is his the second most powerful single target attack he has. And it also requires 99. Justine is kind of the cheap girl in the fact that she only requires 50. So.
Alright, so next we need to get back to Odd Headquarters.
Yep. And like most High Guardians, they will increase almost all stats.
Mm-hmm. Though none of them are really great for sorcery.
Yeah. And if you
Although, speaking of sorcery, the guide would like me to remind you that the next area we go after the Odd Headquarters, we may want to fight a certain enemy and get a book of the same name from it.
Also, we have 2 crests.
Ah. Well, we're currently in the just buy whatever the hell, so...
Okay. So let's get out of town briefly. And I did actually grind enough lucky cards to handle, I think, every secret boss and every boss in the final dungeon. So, let's do Maria to take care of the crests.
Maria Bull. Yep.
Maria, town of Maria. I don't know why Tony got chosen as being Maravel's love interest, by the way.
Well, I'm just glad it's no one with a humble opinion.
In my humble opinion, shut up,
No.
Scott.
Don't have one.
Okay.
The fact that you keep saying that means that it's not very humble at all.
Let's get freeze and let's get fire. Which
Okay.
leaves us with 3 crests, I believe.
Well,
Cause
it's three blank spots I'm seeing on the table.
Yep. Alright, so where to get this book? And if possible, 2 of
Oh, no,
them.
no. Odd Headquarters first.
Ah, Odd Headquarters. Aye.
If I am not seeing crests listed in the treasure chest going forward from this point.
I think
so.
the
I presume we probably missed.
There's probably a couple of things that we'd have to go across the overworld to get a couple of crests.
Ah, that is true. We haven't really done much with that.
And I was going to try and do that as Okay, so we've down here, we've gotten the teddy. We need to talk to this guy.
We need to go shopping.
Alright, so, we have Big Berry, Heelberry, War Respites, and Mini Carrots.
The guide recommends that we cap the hell out of Big Berry.
Okay. Okay, Big Berry capped.
Okay. That was the big thing that it mentions here. Let me just really quick.
Should I also cap Mini Carrots?
I mean, if we're gonna need them, let me see here. I'm not seeing anything talking about mini carrots. So it looks like I would bring them up to 20 just so they're a kind of more or less in line.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't worry about capping for what I'm seeing here.
Okay. Alright. And did some shopping. So.
Alright. So now... So now at this point we can go ahead and make our way to the center of the world, which is aptly named.
Yep. And the only way to get there is by literally, because we have to, because we can't land there by hovercraft, but we have to land here, and then walk all the way.
Yep.
And it's this weird area that we've been seeing throughout the entire game, honestly.
This is where we can potentially get a book.
Yep. Oops, sorry about punching the button there. And we have Agawodent.
Okay, that's not what we were looking for.
Also, who do we want instead of Dandyram? Do we want Zephyr, Raftina, or Justine?
I'm a little nervous about dropping a sorcery is the problem.
If we do Raftina, his sorcery will drop not as much, but...
Well, and then the book will bring it back up to over where it is now.
So, do we, Raftina just to get the single heal?
Yeah.
Okay. Agwodent, I think this guy was Red Butte?
Was what? No, no red.
Oh, don't red.
No need to red.
Contaminant crust. Yeah, this guy's... Oh no, Cannon is poisoned.
Oh no. Whatever shall we do?
Cannon, here, have this little tiny green pea pod.
It looks all. I would think it's almost more like a leaf of some kind.
Leaf. I always imagined it as like some kind of weird seed pod. Because like in some of the games, it's this weird. It's got a bit of heft to it, a look of heft to it.
Ah.
Ah. We do want to go in this corner here because there is a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Viper Fang acquired.
I was gonna say it's something toss-worthy. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, It's the shooting item, level 8, but we have not been using shooting, so whatever.
Yeah.
And I should not... I gotta stop myself from hitting, essentially, circle on green.
Yeah, don't cancel them, please.
Ah, we got books.
Ah, yes, good.
We got Necronomicon, which I'm pretty sure was what we're looking for, and a Wojanoid.
Oceanoid. Okay, let me look.
Yep. And I think the Necronomicons are actually resistant to fire.
Worse. They are full of absorption.
Okay. Anything on the Wojanoid?
They absorb water.
Nothing else?
Nothing. They may drop something that you said you already have enough of.
Okay. No need to absorb stuff from anybody?
Yeah, there's, Marvel would be bored.
Okay, and I'm guessing... I'm gonna do they absorb light? The Necronomicons.
They absorb everything.
Oh. Tim, you just punch the book. Cannon, punch
They
the book with
absorb all of the elements, I should say.
Ugh. So, if they
But
drop it,
if
it's
you have a
possible.
non-elemental would potentially not be absorbed.
I don't think we're high enough force level ability for it yet.
Probably not, but it's worth mentioning.
I think I'm...
And if Iron Jesus is with us, we're going to get one of those books to become a book.
Yep, and... that means we could technically grind them for 3 books. One for Tim, one for...
Prohibited spell?
Okay. Nope, no drop. And they are a drop, right?
They are indeed a drop. They are not a pickpocket.
Yeah. But yeah, we
It
probably...
only specifically calls out one for Tim.
Yeah. We probably want to, like, if it's a drop, that means we can get multiple.
So you're thinking maybe get a couple for Loka and Marvel as well?
Yeah, for reasons that I know of.
Gasnoid the First.
Yeah.
Gasnoid. You can pickpocket full revives. Other than that, they're worthless.
Eh. Tim, hit him with fire. Maybe he's a
gas
giant...
creature.
He's a fart.
It is resistance to all things.
Oh, so it's it's basically punch it.
Yeah, this area seems to be particularly resistant to magic.
Yeah. So we are just unlocking the front door, or are we going to try and go in?
I mean, we are running low on time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we got a big boy. Grendel.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Grendel. It
Oh.
kind of came out as a burp.
Nothing interesting or useful.
Nothing stolen, nothing absorbed,
Nothing
nothing.
stolen, nothing absorbed, nothing cool drop. I mean, it
Anything.
drops a mini carrot, so that's kind of cool.
Anything he's weak against or strong against?
He is in fact weak against air.
Yeah. Okay. So Sonic Claw.
He doesn't like the wind.
He don't like no. Oh God! Cannon attacked him and 0 damage. Ew. And Tim gets the kill.
Excellent. 4600. That's double overkill.
And we've seen this giant plateau in the center.
That is a target.
That is the spiral tower. And no offense, we're not going in.
Is that really something that should be offensive?
No, I'm pretty sure some people are like, just go in, finish the game. It's like, no. No.
We have a lot of content left in this game, I'm afraid, my friends. A lot more than 15 minutes for sure.
It's another Agawodent.
Okay. Beat its face in.
Punch its face in.
Oh! Agawodent is weak against fire, by the way.
Yeah. I think Tim may get the kill just by bonking it. Yes,
I'm
he
kinda okay
did!
with that.
Huh. Back attack. Oh, welcome to how a back attack works in Wild Arms.
Oh, what are those?
Agions. And yes, that's Brad, Lilka, and Maravel.
Oh! Oh! Marvel's suddenly piqued her interests.
Ah, back attack for reasons.
Oh, and these only appear from surprise.
Oh, okay. Do we have...
Let's see. They are resistant to everything. They don't have much HP, though.
Well, good thing I didn't have Brad attack, because I'm going to literally have Marvel try and suck things down. Slurpy slurpy. Please don't counterattack Brad. Please don't.
Also, can we confirm, because just in case there's overlap, because I'm not sure how Red Skill works in this. Can we confirm her current list really quick?
Okay,
The spell we can potentially learn here is Booster.
so Life Drain, Skill Drain, Cremation, Air Slash, Wild Card, Sleep, Guillotine, and Rock Gazar.
Okay, so we do not have Booster, and this is something we can learn here.
Booster, return, learned. And guess what they decide to use on that turn?
Oh, they use Booster themselves. Well done. Attack power, resistance, defense power, magic resistance. Nice.
Yep, it is...
I'm a little concerned because it actually doesn't show up as one of her spells in the guide that I'm reading.
Huh. As you said, Lilka... And they're down.
Nice.
We got boosters, so... Alright.
So I'm thinking this guide right here is actually bad and should feel bad.
Come on!
But I still have this one.
Come on, book buddies. No, we don't need a giant snail.
By the way, if you decide to play around with this on your own, between streams, apparently if you get down to one Agion, it has a chance to summon an elemental Agion, just for filling out your book.
Ah.
There are 5 variants.
Ooh.
Which, if one of them was pink, it would be the original Power Rangers. Black, blue, red, white, and yellow.
Oh boy. And we have a gas boy.
Alright, we shall dispatch it with haste and move on.
Yep. Cannon just punched it once.
I did say with haste. But yeah, it mentions in the guide that the encounter rate here is higher than it is elsewhere in the game.
Technically, we could be wearing the odd sandals and getting a much better a much higher encounter rate if we wanted to.
Or using the mic.
Mic can't be used on the overworld.
Ah, okay. Oh no, that's right, because it's only for unlocking the special bosses, huh?
Yeah, it's not like the other ones in the series where if you use it, monsters will immediately attack you.
Yeah, which is kind of more what I was leaning towards, because I was honestly thinking more Star Ocean 2 with the battle hymn.
Oh, hey, new buddies. Wiesglover. Or Wiesglover.
Boring.
Nothing?
They may drop mini carrots. That's the coolest thing about them.
Any weaknesses?
Oh, yeah, I should have looked at that. No. They will absorb everything you throw at them.
Damn it. This is the worst.
But they also have the HP of a slightly reinforced cardboard box.
Ah. So, poke down. We are going to have a lot of money, and we may get a lot of money to start upgrading arms and stuff, which we may want to...
I mean, at that point, you might as well.
Yeah. Because this dungeon, as a heads up, we will probably want to use Ashley's arms for reasons.
Oh, that, and we may end up having to switch in Brad from time to time for reasons.
We have Wojanoid and Ose, which we really don't have any need for either.
We haven't looked at Ose.
Yeah.
Ose, I don't know if that's worth it or not. They pickpocket tiny flowers.
That could be helpful.
Elementally avoid light and dark.
I mean, I'll think about it because we definitely want to try and do some sparking, but that may be something I do off screen.
Yeah, that's probably not a terrible answer.
Because, yeah, welcome to why I found Eagle Claw to be the most annoying thing ever, is the factor that the enemies that could survive Phalanx are mostly bosses.
And the occasional random, like, what was it earlier, Asmodeus?
Yeah, really tough enemy. Admittedly, Cannon right now is sitting at best, so... She has...
Something can survive long enough.
Yep.
Of course, there's other benefits to killing with different people, such as with Tim,
Yeah.
who can continually work on new spells.
Yeah. But after these spells, he's probably going to go back to Dandiram.
That's probably not a terrible answer.
And sadly, only one person will get a normal guardian out of this.
What do you mean?
There are 5 high guardians.
Ah, so one person has to kind of get sloppy seconds, so to speak.
Yeah. But while we're kind of grinding for the Necronomicons, or at least attempting to.
Since we're down to the 5-minute warning, you mean?
Yeah. Might as well do the outro while this is happening.
So, tomorrow night, we're going to be back with some more Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes.
We did Stone Vigil last week.
We did Stone Vigil, which means that Eddie now has access to the Beastmen tribes.
And I think we did Garuda, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
This week?
We did Garuda.
So we're getting close to Operation Archon then.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is a new boy. M. Therion.
Emtherion, I don't know the value of its drop. It is a hefty boy. It drops grenades.
Okay.
And it has half all elements. But it is a hefty boy.
Okay, it's possible to grind?
Yeah, I would consider this potential. Well, it doesn't absorb anything, so it's not going to be easily healable. But it would be potentially a cannon grind otherwise. If by grind we mean like everyone else defends while cannon gets up to 100 and gets a single spark.
Pretty much. That's what I'm going to be. Oh, a counterattack. And cannon. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. And I'm guessing...
I did not know that was a thing.
Okay, but cannon's up and running.
Alright. I mean, it's a one-shot, one opportunity, but hopefully it'll spark.
Nope.
Of course not.
Yep.
Why would it be that cool?
Anyway, continuing on.
I did say it was hefty. I didn't say it was tanky.
Yeah. Okay, so...
and otherwise, I presume we'll probably have a weekly coming out, or did it come out earlier this week?
We should be... I think the weekly has come out.
Okay. I don't know if... Are we going to have a perspective coming out this weekend?
Should.
Okay. And then, other than that, of course, we'll be back around to next week, where we'll be continuing this. And we'll be probably, from what I'm seeing here, probably the penultimate, but it might be the ultimate. So you're going to want to tune in just in case it is the ultimate. Other than that, if you want to support us, if you're enjoying the content we're making, the easiest way is just simply word of mouth. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell people to come watch us. Of course, if you want to subscribe here, you can subscribe. You can use your Twitch Prime, your free one, which is always nice. We also do have a Redbubble that we have done very little with, but we have stuff that is in the works. We have a Patreon that we have done very little with, but there is stuff in the works. Basically, a lot of works in progress. And as well, if you want to catch, previous streams that you've missed, the past streams do get uploaded to our YouTube channel. So that's a good way to kind of catch up if there's something specific you wanted to see.
Yep.
Also, you can follow us on all the socials. the Facebook, the Twitter, actually, oh yeah, the Instagram. We do have one of those.
Yeah.
Those are the only three. Don't ask. No, we don't have a TikTok. We do not have a TikTok, Eddie. We do not. Sorry, I'm a little chaotic tonight. Oh, and as far as the podcasts, I mentioned them earlier. They are available on all of your favorite podcast places. So whether that be Apple Music / I guess iTunes, whether that be Google, whether that be Spotify, you can find it.
Yep.
Which brings us around to next week, where we will be back to this, back to more of this great fun, back to hopefully not being disintegrated by these jerks. Okay, good, we didn't.
Yeah, just trying to get Actually, I thought that Grendel could have also been a good one to grind on for Canon.
Grendel?
Grendel, the big purple dragon boy. Yeet.
Not as much because it does. Oh, well, yes and no, because that is actually a healable one.
Yes.
Because Grendel
Yes!
is jerk. Really?
Yeah!
I am so glad we didn't turn off yet. Eagle Claw sparked.
Yay, Canon! And now I have to bring in Marvel. Because it's going to be... No, I'm going to have to bring in Marvel for all the grindy bits because I am going to be going and getting her all of her, or as much of her.
Yes. Fair.
The red.
Well, I did. You should still have the list. I sent it to you on.
Yeah.
You'll have to probably scroll back a bit because I sent it to you before about 1,000 ship posts.
Yeah. So now that we've gotten Canon her best ability, Eagle Claw, which is, and this is how you can tell like what Gatling it's available on, is when you do its like attack, it says a 1 or 2 or 3. Eagle Claw is the only level 4. And since we now know she no longer needs the amulet, I honestly am going to probably stick the reflex on Canon.
Oh, by the way, to make your life easier, this doesn't need to be here, but I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
I did go ahead and pin the Red Power Guide.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So Canon's going to get the reflex because, yeah, Canon is a bit squishier than Brad or Ashley, but by putting the reflex on her makes her a very good tank. So,
that makes sense, yeah, a dodge tank.
And probably we won't be going into the Spiral Tower next week. We will probably dealing with maybe a couple of the secret bosses that I know I can handle.
Oh. So we actually may not even be on the penultimate stream. We might actually be even before that.
Yeah.
If we're going to go tackle those secret bosses too.
The reason why we want to do some of the secret bosses is because, well, we could go in there and then get to a certain point and then get out, because for the astute viewers, you notice that there's only one person who still only has 2 tools.
Uh-oh.
The final tool for that one person is in the final dungeon.
Oh?
And it is used to get some of the more stuff. And technically, if we had gotten this tool, we could have had a much easier time with Lucid's dungeon, for reasons. But in this case, we got Eagle Claw, which makes me extremely happy, because this is the first time I've ever gotten it. Yes! But tune in tomorrow for Final Fantasy XIV with Eddie and the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And listen to the podcasts at your discretion, and hopefully tune in next week when we see how well I do against some of the secret bosses. Or how I am against some of those secret bosses.
Yeah, 6 of 1.
But thanks for joining me, and I hope everybody has a great night. Night, everybody!
Bye!